And we're live. This is Good Society Curiouser and Curiouser, fourth of four sessions. And as always, we have our three players. I'm Gene. I go by he, him, but let's go, I guess, sheet order. So, Jesse, why don't you lead us off?
Hi, I'm Jesse, he, him, and I'm playing Peregrine, also he, him, the socialite playbook.
I'm Barry. I use he, him pronouns. I am playing Elwyn Middlemiss, he, him, and I'm using the dependent.
Hi, I'm Dan Trapondok. I use him pronouns, and I'm playing the heir, Madeline Warren Aldom, who uses she, her pronouns.
Awesome. And where we left the group, to summarize, stuff happened, and we introduced a new character with a lot of ties to the other characters, specifically Elwyn and Peregrine. There was a clandestine meeting between brother and sister that was misinterpreted by several parties. We found out the vicar is spying. What else did we learn? Elwyn, anything you want to add?
I'm checking my notes. I'm sorry.
It's been a whole week.
It's been
I know.
a whole week, and there's been a whole week of days in between. Yep, there. I've got a note about something that happened with Elwyn and Rowena running into each other in Rowena's bookshop while Madeline was checking something out. Elwyn had visited the vicar and had a very rare old spell book burst into flames in his hands. And when he went seeking information about that, he ran into someone who has an old and long-standing curse on his family.
Yeah, that definitely happened. Madeline was in that bookstore, and she kind of how would you characterize her relationship with Rowena, Leandro?
Just to put it on the text, she's massively crushing on Rowena. Not sure if Rowena is reciprocating, but I think Madeline's very much doing that. If it wasn't obvious in the bookstore, it was very obvious in the letter she sent Rowena. She basically is like, "Hey, can I tell you all my feelings and insecurities? Sorry, I'm just gonna do it. Hope you like them."
Yeah, Rowena brings in a lot of interesting conflict to what's going on. Also with Peregrine, I think we left the last image that Rowena is casting some kind of spell that is involving Peregrine. How would you characterize the relationship between the new edition, Peregrine?
Yeah, so Peregrine is representing the Red Court of Wonderland in an attempt to kind of bridge the two worlds and create an estate across the two. By regaining his title as heir, and he has holdings in Wonderland as well. And Rowena is representing the White Court. On unclear exactly what her mission is yet, but I'm sure that may or may not become clear. And the Red Court has tasked Peregrine with, literally, it was to prevent her from ever returning to Wonderland. But with the strong implication that he should do that through assassination. And Peregrine has made it very clear that he is not an assassin. He is a peer of the realm, and not someone's hired killer. And he will accomplish his mission. But he's not going to murder anybody.
Right, and he also received some interesting spurs, right?
Yes, that's right. He received a gift of spurs, which he's uncomfortable using on his horse, which he feels tenderly towards, but he'll wear them nevertheless as a symbol of something of loyalty to the queen that gifted them.
Excellent. So, just to tell you where we're at in terms of the game cycle, we've gone through one complete cycle. So this is on the right side of the character keeper. So I've cleared off all the boxes. It's likely that we're going to do at least one novel chapter, and we're probably going to skip the rep phase and also the rumor and scandal phase. And if possible, we're going to do 2 novel chapters. We're definitely going to do a novel and epistolary phase, but since this last session, the rumor and scandal doesn't help us much on the last session. So we're going to try to squeeze in as much RP as we can before Barry turns into a pumpkin, and have a good time. So we're going to start with the novel phase. By the way, we should have tons of tokens, resolve tokens, because you guys are spending tons of them and giving them all to Elwyn and Peregrine, and B, because we went through an upkeep phase, we all got an additional one. So the economy is juiced, so to speak. Let's see. We are going to do a novel phase. I think we're going to we're going to advance the clock a little bit to the night before the hunt, and we'll probably do the hunt this novel phase as well. So we're going to do a couple short scenes, I think, talking about. We'll see if we get some characters together and do our preparations for the hunt. So who would like to do a scene?
I'm handling some upkeep on my sheet of the
Yes.
dealing with the updated desire.
Yeah, I kind of jumped ahead, and we should let's do this first. Let's do the desire thing first. So, off camera or at the very end of last session, we decided as part of the upkeep phase that we're going to change some desires because per the rules, the existing ones weren't working anymore because of the way the characters changed. So I sent Barry a few suggestions and also Leandro, and Barry is going to take one of them, I think, and I think Leandro has crafted his own for Madeline. Who would like to share what they're doing?
I'll go ahead since I am taking one directly that you recommended. I took marry in such a way as to impress your patron and win their support. I think that I've had some interesting letter writing back and forth with the Viscount and a couple of scenes that he's kind of alluded to maybe a little bit of he's not aware of the history that Elwyn and Madeline had, but he's alluded to that he would be somehow he would be okay with Elwyn being a suitor for Madeline. But I think the writing is all but on the wall for what's happening with that relationship. And while the Viscount wants to be able to support me in that way, what he demands of me is something that I don't know if I can do, and that's to turn Peregrine away from the Ward Aldham family and estate. And so, people are already thinking that Elwyn is trying to be like a social climber, based on what we've got going on in the rumor and scandal. And so, I think to try and make that to try and preserve my my name such as it is and my reputation with the Viscount, so that he does not see me as trying to climb into his estate despite not fulfilling his wishes. That's what kind of spoke to me about that specific desire.
All right, I love the Elwyn. I love all the characters, but Elwyn is really a cool one. And I like where you're going with it. So I think that desire works for him. Leandro, what have you come up with? Or are you still working on it? You seem very
Yeah,
pensive.
yeah. I was trying to figure this out the past, I say week, no, the past couple hours, to be perfectly honest. Because I think Madeline herself has always been quite conflicted with what she wants, and I always kind of seen her someone who didn't necessarily want to be heir, but now that she is, because her brother messed things up, she'll have to live up to that. It's not really what she wants. What she wants is for someone mysterious and dashing to take her away from it all. But I don't know if I want to put that as an actual desire. So that's what she really wants. But she knows her place. She knows, well, not her place, but like she knows what her duty is. She still loves this family, and she wants to make sure that it stays strong. Part of why she kind of is not interested in Elwyn is that she feels like that's something they've already done. It's done. It's over. And Elwyn insisting there's still juice in it is she has other like duties to look after. So I think her desires. I'm gonna mangle one of the ones you sent me, and I think it is a desire has to do with his brother, and that meeting they had. Wow, he professes a lot of things. He says a lot of stuff, but already there's rumors twisting what's happened, and I think part of her thinking is influenced by what she wrote to Rowena about being trapped into this. At least while she's trapped, she'll make do with what she has. So I think her desire at the moment is to determine your brother's true intentions.
Okay.
Yeah, I think. Oh, go on.
I like it. It probably needs a little bit more. So
Yeah, I need a second bit for
yeah,
sure,
yeah.
and establish something for sure. I'll probably put it in
Is
the channel to
is your
send out
is your
later.
goal to end up being the leader of your family, or
Yeah,
restoring
establish
your
once
brother?
and for all. I don't. I think she'd have misgivings about restoring her brother because again, he's not proven himself.
Mm.
He's said a lot of promises. I think establish once and for all who is the true heir.
Yeah, I like it. It also sets up a really interesting thing. Um, yeah, it's going to set up a cool scene where Peregrine and Madeline pretty much have to put the cards on the table. So
Yeah, and of course, establishing once for all who the true heir is. Like does Madeline want to be the true heir? Um,
Right. That's
which she
definitely it's definitely better because I think we're at the point where Peregrine's ready to talk to you about like what he actually wants.
Mhm.
Um, um,
I like it. Why don't you keep working on it as we go? I think it's gonna come together as it's gonna be focused as we work on some story. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll definitely that's the gist anyway. That's
Yeah,
the general trust. I'll just tweak the wording.
I think we're all into it. I think too that just as a reminder, everyone can cast a spell, so you can use this huge treasure trove of resolve tokens to cast spells. And again, the spell casting table is there on the character keeper. So, are we cool to start doing a novel scene? Thumbs up. All right. So a lot of good letter writing last week. A lot of scenes that we need to do. One of the scenes that we just talked about is we have to have another scene between Rowena. I'm sorry, with Madeline and Peregrine, but we probably also need a scene between Rowena and Peregrine because that scene has not happened yet. Those two characters have not met, and Elwyn needs to have probably a scene with. He can go in any direction, depending on how you want to go, Barry. So, who would like to go first? And what would you like to see first? I guess.
so I have an idea for a scene with Rowena, but if Elwyn wants to go first, I think the order where the place where the scene goes doesn't super matter.
Go for it.
Okay, yeah, we can do it. What's your idea?
So I think we need like I think that I want to cast I want to cast a spell.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a spell of communication. I mean, like I want to open up communication with Rowena without actually being in her presence. I think that's like an important right, and it's sort of like feel her out a little bit.
Sure. I think that this actually belongs in the epistolary phase, but that's fine. We can do it now. I'm just not sure how you want to RP it.
Oh no, I mean, so we're gonna talk.
Okay.
Like here's what the spell looks like, and then you can tell me what the like you can ask me what the question you wanna ask me. I think what the spell looks like is I have a mirror in the rooms I'm staying in, and it's like a pretty big mirror, like waist up, covers like half of a wall. It's not a big room, and it's framed in this heavy sort of like velvet drapery, covered. And I think what I do is I spray it. I take like a little perfume bottle, which is a mix of kind of like what do I want it to smell like? I think it's rose.
Sure. Let me stop you right there.
Mm-hmm.
This is awesome. We're definitely going to do this.
Yeah.
So on the spellcasting table, what's going to happen is I'm going to receive a resolve token, and I'm going to give you one of these questions. It has to be, you have to do it as part of how you're working your magic. So I wanted to stop you here before you got all the way down this road.
Great.
So I think, is that cool with you?
Yes.
First off, so you're going to spend a token. You could just delete it because I should receive it because I'm acting as Rowena at this point. So I'll receive it, which is fine because I have very little.
And I have very many.
So the question I'm going to choose is, how does the magic consume or possess you? And after that, how does it linger inside you?
So here's isn't that that's a question for like if I that's like the major drawback, right?
Yes.
If I receive
there's no good thing out of this table. There's always a complication to the plot.
Right, but if I pay, doesn't it go? Aren't the questions from the one on the left?
Okay, sure.
Sorry, I thought like there's it's still a downside. It's just not like as significant.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, you're right. All right.
Sorry,
I was confused. It's been that kind of day. All right, so we'll do this one instead. How does an unintended side effect occur? Which is basically the same one, it's just not as badass.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Right. All right. So here's and you have to be okay with this, I think, because this is like a little bit. Maybe I'll pay you another token if you want to accept this answer. But I think that we still, maybe for the remainder of this of the novel phase, have a lingering connection.
Okay. I think I'm fine with that.
Okay. I think and do you want a token for that?
I don't think I need a token.
Okay. So I think that like there's still like this I don't know that we're gonna like see each other through the mirror, but like I think there's still gonna be like a lingering sort of like sense of maybe we know each other's position and like state of emotional state.
Yeah. I agree with all of that.
Great. So yeah. So yeah.
The night, but this is the day and night before the hunt. So, we'll say Rowena is summoned. She'll be in her shop, and she, your image appears through her mirror, and you're able to communicate.
Yes.
So she spies you through the mirror, and she knows who you are apparently, and she says,
"Well, we've met before, right?
Yes. She says, "Your Lordship, Ward Oldham, I didn't expect to have a communication from you in this manner. Perhaps you got my last letter. That was just a token, not necessarily indicative of anything."
Well, Armitage, how's that pronounced?
Armitage.
Mistress Armitage, I took it as a threat. I can't imagine what else you would have meant by it.
Well, I didn't mean anything untoward. Certainly, you know, the cards have a great significance in Wonderland, and as you are a member of the court, I thought that it would be proper to announce that I'm here and I'm aware of your presence.
And I appreciate that, and I'm here really mostly just to check in and say hello. I know I'm reassured to know that you didn't mean anything by that really somewhat obscene gesture, frankly.
Well,
Baffled,
what happens in the red court is sometimes misinterpreted by the white court and vice versa. So I hope you'll overlook the transgression and we'll be able to have a normal relationship while we are in the above world.
Come. We're both here in the above world of the above world, you and I. So let's talk. What has the white court misinterpreted that caused them to send you here?
Oh, I'm here on my own duty. I'm here to resolve some lingering business that my family had before we were forced rather unlawfully and unjustly from Oxfordshire. I've just learned that one of the scions of a certain family is living actually on your father's estate.
You mean the Middlemas family?
I believe he is a Middlemas. Yes, he's a strange fellow, not what I expected, but nonetheless.
What quarrel could anyone possibly have with Elwyn Middlemas? A more bluff gentleman I have never known.
His family and my family had some ancient business that unfortunately went awry, and such as it is, there's some trifle magic that's involved.
Well,
I'm here merely to just make certain that all the business is done correctly.
Perhaps I can help you settle this business in a way that is clean and satisfactory to everyone. And in that way, maybe, as you're here on your own and through no conspiracies of the White Court, maybe we can have you settled here, back home again in Oxfordshire, no longer beholden to anyone but yourself.
And what would you get out of this, Mr. Or rather, Lord Oldham?
It seems to me that you bear perhaps some old grudge against my friend Elwyn. That, whether his family earned it or not, he certainly did not. I don't want to. You deserve whatever recompense your family has earned. But I'm hoping that perhaps between us, we can, well, as you said, keep it proper. And I just hope that ill magic will not strike Elwyn Middlemas, who, as I said, is an old friend.
It sounds to me that you're choosing the side, Lord Ward Oldham.
I have heard of your persistence and your strength in Wonderland, and I do have a side. I make no bones about it, but I think that my side is best served by giving your side what you want as best it can.
Well, this has been a very enlightening conversation. I have managed to secure a invitation to the hunt tomorrow from your father. Some old family debt that he was more than happy to oblige. So I will see you on the morrow, and we can perhaps discuss it a little further.
Wonderful. Mr. Middlemiss will be there as well. So perhaps
I'm certain he will be.
Perhaps the three of us can have a conversation.
Right. The three of us and your sister.
If she's interested.
Have a nice day, Lord Ward Aldham.
You as well, Ms. Armitage.
All right. I think that's scene. It's a little icy, maybe. Leandro, Barry, what do you want to see next?
I need a reminder of something because I
Mhm.
didn't make a note of it. What was the magical token that Peregrine won off of Dawn Turton?
I think I described it as
Yeah, you had a
go on.
good one, Leandro. It's written down somewhere.
Yeah, it's a magical it's a locket containing a sliver of Jabberwock's bane, which is just a fancy way to say it has a piece of a vorpal blade in it.
Yeah, that's
Hmm.
fantastic. Because I had written to her, she had written me about concern about Peregrine, and I had written back that I would meet with her about that, and so I think that would be I think that's we've set it up, so we might as well pay it off, right?
Okay, so Barry and Don, I believe, and Leandro is playing Don, so you guys can set it up, and we'll see how it goes.
It's just like a clandestine meeting in the dark, out near the woods, probably near where the hunting's going to happen.
I think that like if we were to set it just in the in the moments leading up to the hunt, like in the hour before or something, then that's like that just whatever the drama is, like it gets ramped up by like being like immediate.
Yeah, maybe like it's in a secluded area near the hunt, or it could be just Dawn shows up, and like gestures to the, and we need to meet in a private, in a more secluded part. I don't think she wants to talk to you out in the open, especially if Peregrine can see her.
Well, and so I will use I want to use a token then, for some magic to ensure that we have some privacy. And the magic is one of a bottle of it's a bottle of liquid smoke that when I pour it on the ground near us, it rolls up into large billowy clouds of fog that spill out into the acre around us, to ensure that we can't see each other unless we're in within a couple of feet. So I will give you a token for that, Dawn Turton.
Okay, so Leandro will be able to choose from the first part of the table, the left side of it.
All right. What does the magic demand for you or make you promise?
Ooh, that's good. I think that what this magic demands of me is in order to like keep it, in order to keep the fog kind of here, so that it doesn't get blown away by the breath of the wind. I need to sustain it with my own breath, and so I have to take quaffs of it into myself, which is going to leave me short of breath maybe when I'm riding later.
Yeah, I think once the fog has kind of like settled, and Dawn's like, so no prying ears, Mr. Middlemiss.
At least no eyes.
All right. And she pulls out of her military coat a big like hookah, kind of like the type the caterpillars down in Wonderland smoke, and starts kind of like casually puffing in front of you. Yeah, so she's apparently a military adventurer, hard and angular, but she's a military adventurer who went to Wonderland, so she probably looks a bit weird. This coat is way too big, and she's got these ridiculous eye glasses that makes her look like an owl, and and she puffs a bit. So I'm glad to see my concerns about your entanglements with one Peregrine Ward Aldum. Well, I'm glad you're taking my concerns seriously, Mr. Middlemiss.
Well, he is my friend, and so any concern about him is one that I. What do you know? What do you know about my friend?
Here, I'm going to offer a token to Jesse to give me a completely true story of an exploit of Peregrine's in Wonderland.
Sure. Let's see. What did I do? I think it's how I earned my earldom. I think this is like something that's broadly known in Wonderland, right? Like this is not even a secret that you're telling, right? And I think I'm trying to think of something that would be like prized in Wonderland, but perhaps disrespected above. And I think it's that I used magic to shame the. I don't even remember what I called. I was the Earl of the topiary. I didn't write it down. Damn it! The Earl of the topiary. It wasn't jungle. It was the Earl of the topiary something. Whatever it was.
Yeah, something like that. Topiary was topiary something.
Yeah, the previous. So I think what I did was I publicly humiliated the previous Earl by a very similar trick to what I just did to talk to Rowena, except for it was without his knowledge. I sort of displayed in front of the whole court him in. I'm trying to think like what would be perfectly respectable behavior up here, but shameful in Wonderland.
That he brushes his teeth after meals.
Sure. Oh well.
Oh no, they don't do that in Regency England. I don't know. They probably
no. I think it's something. I think it's something like that. It's like he he very clearly like takes care in amassing his wardrobe and appearance. Like I think in a way that like not that they're slovenly in Wonderland, but like they are who they are, and their like costume is part of that like very like the rabbit wears a waistcoat. And that's like, and the idea that you would like think about it, it's not just part of your identity, is like something that I think was like, wait, he's not who he says he is really.
What a libertine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what Dawn says. Like, but she emphasizes the bits where Peregrine was duplicitous.
Duplicitous and like invading privacy and all that stuff.
Yes. Yeah, and I think she tells a story in between puffs of her hookah. Completely, she doesn't know about your deal, Elwyn. It's happening to you right now, and And then she says, and that's the story of how Mr. Ward Aldham, once a lowly courtier in the Red Bishop's coterie, became her earl. And as far as I know, earl he remains. Especially with the political capital he's amassed, the trinkets he's taken. He is a man, Mr. Minimus, who says one thing and hides so many faces. Blow.
He has been in Wonderland many years. I wonder how much a man's face can change without it being seen. How long were you assigned to the Wonderlands, Lieutenant?
Hook, though. Have you ever seen Wonderland, Mr. Middlemiss?
Only through the works of the college, only through its occasional manifestations. The Red Bishop and her attaché made call upon the Ward Aldham estate, but I've never been there myself.
Well, one of the main facts of Wonderland is that most things are relative. Time is relative. Roads are relative. That includes, well, I just said time is relative, right? Oh, I did. And smokes again. The more you stay in Wonderland, the more you bring it back with you. And you can't really help whenever you come back here to bring it with you. You think that Red Bishop, you think that Red Bishop visitation was a mere fluke, a jape? That's Mr. Ward Aldham's debts running after him. And he needs anything. Oh, go on.
Oh, I was just going to say that I want to give Dawn a resolve token if you can show me the ways that time and roads have stretched her service and like what the strange cartography of Wonderland has done to her.
Yeah, she probably shouldn't present her case while literally smoking on on a hookah pipe. Well, that's her problem. Yeah. She'll take that token. And I think she'll start talking about her service and how there have been 50 red bishops, and all of them came about in the span of a second, until that second had to be wiped away from the calendar because it was too red. It didn't really fit the calendar. Calendars are black and white, but there were so many bishops that second that the calendar turned red, and so it had to be wiped away. So now that's where the bishops learn to be a bit more relative in terms of when they dispose each other. And yeah, she tells you this like long winding story. Well, you have to keep huffing and breathing back and forth. I think she kind of end this with like, I think she kind of realizes slightly that she's probably losing you a bit, and I think she'll tell the story that she didn't want to tell of how, because it's gonna make her look incredibly prejudiced against Peregrine, because it will. It's the story of how she got hoodwinked out of a game of chance from playing with Mr. Peregrine Ward Aldham. And they say it's a game of chance. I think it was a proper like crickets with with flamingo flamingo cricket, so to speak. But Peregrine Ward Aldum, she says, who's well acclimatized in Wonderland, knew that on that day, the pink flamingos would be in heat, and the non-pink flamingos would be completely fine. And thanks to him knowing that, and she not knowing, and him saying, it's all fair. Flamingos here in Wonderland, they don't really like, they don't act like flamingos up there, and just him like straight up lying to her about that. That's how he won this token. And I think she takes one last puff and says, "Mr. Middlemiss, well, I'm glad that you've entertained my stories for this time, for the past." She looks at the watch. And then she looks at you. How are you doing, Elwin? The breathing wise.
He's doing okay. Like, he's trying to pace himself with this, but like this the story, especially like with the flamingos, like I think entered into like the like, let's wrap this up territory. And like the coughing hasn't, like the coughing fit hasn't come on, but when Elwin speaks and urges you forward in the story, like his his words are getting like dry and raspy a little bit as he encourages you to go on and yes and the look of a look of like both belief and relief kind of crosses Elwin's face as you're recounting this story of like how you were scammed in this way. And Jesse, I would love to offer you a token if that kind of like playful, like big brothery putting one over on someone is part of like Elwin and Peregrine's past.
Oh, definitely. I don't even know that you need to give. Like, I have so many tokens, and that seems like just like a very reasonable thing.
Sure.
To say, but I'll also take I'll take the token if that's necessary. I just feel like I'm hoarding them.
Hoard them, do them. Give tokens to other people. That's like I'm blowing through as many as I can. So and yeah, like the like a half grin like crosses Elwin's face as he thinks back to younger days when Peregrine was the ward and helping Elwin and Madeline secret their relationship from the ward Aldum elders. And Elwin says, "Thank you so much for this information, Lieutenant. This is as you thought, of course, deeply concerning and Lord Ward Aldum, Lord Ward Aldum's behavior should be watched for that."
Keep your eyes on the Earl, Mr. Middlemiss. Though he may know it, and I'll bet my left monocle, which then you realize that her glasses are two monocles taped together. I'll bet my left monocle that though he professes to be ignorant of it, he knows he carries with him a sliver of Jabberwock's bane. I just want to make sure mistakes aren't repeated. And then he takes one last puff and like kind of salutes you off.
Awesome.
All right, I think that's scene. Very nicely done. So Leandro, do you have a scene that you want to do, or do you need a break from There's a lot of overhead for your character, or do you have something you want to do for Madeline?
I had an idea, then I got lost in Wonderland for a minute. Come back to me for a moment.
Okay. If
Yeah.
you want to take a minute, I could do another scene with. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I think Elwyn to the estate by Lord Viscount by Viscount Ward Oldham. Is that all right, Barry?
Sorry, give me that one more time.
The Viscount is
I didn't
summoning you
catch
to.
the setup.
Yeah, so the Viscount is summoning
Oh
you
yeah,
to
no,
the estate. He wants to have a word with you.
Yeah, that's
So
definitely
that's cool.
not an invitation that I would turn down. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so he's going to meet you in the smoking room, which is kind of a very casual thing. Is that all right?
I'm sorry, I'm getting like really significant like desync. I'm just getting a lot of desync, and I can't tell if I'm like roboting or anything.
Is it me? Are the rest of you guys hearing
No,
me? Leandro
I think it's
and
Gene.
Jesse?
Gene, you've been like roboting a little bit.
Yeah. Why don't we give it a minute? Okay. It sometimes happens on this computer, which is why, et cetera, et cetera. We'll give it a minute, and I'll shut some things down here.
Okay, it's
How about now?
not a
Any
big deal.
improvement?
Not especially, but that's okay. We'll play through it.
No.
We'll play through it.
Okay. Why don't
Maybe.
no? We're gonna take like a 3-minute break. I need to get some water anyway. So everyone take 3 minutes, and hopefully it'll be a bit better when you get back. How about that? Okay. So take 3 minutes. We'll be back. Is it any better, Barry?
Or
am I still roboting?
It seems better. It was like really significantly desynced earlier, where like you would speak and I would hear you speak, and then like several seconds later I would see you speak. So it was just like time is stretched in Wonderland. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully it won't recur, but if it does, I can turn off my video and we can try to get past it. But for now, we'll give Leandro a minute. Oh, there he is. So where we were at, I suggested that the Viscount has summoned Elwyn for a talk in the smoking room of the estate. And we'll say that Madeline doesn't know about this unless Madeline wants to spend some tokens. Does that sound okay?
Is this like the night before the hunt, maybe?
Yeah, or maybe the afternoon. I'm not sure if time matters for this meeting.
Sure.
But
sure. Just placing
okay.
it prior to the hunt. So in some case.
Yeah. So it could have happened before or after your encounter with Don. So,
probably not after, since that was
it's
like
up to you.
right before the hunt. So sometime
So
before.
the Viscount summons you into his smoking room.
Can we? Is there any way, and I'm
Sure.
willing to spend a token, we could make it work that it is after the encounter with Dawn? Because this is just, if there's no fictional way to do it, that's fine. But it's much more interesting, right? If you already have this kind of embarrassing information about me. About Peregrine. Like maybe it's the morning before the hunt? Or it wasn't your meeting in the late at night beforehand, or was it
we could do that.
in the immediate?
Or it could be like a.
I had pictured the meeting between Dawn and Elwyn as being like in the hour like leading up to the hunt.
All right, then never mind. If we can't make it fit with the fiction, then no worries.
I'm fine with sliding that around. If it's it's a long morning, it's a late start, then that we can make that work.
Okay, I will give you a token for that.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So this happened after you met with Dawn.
Yes.
So still kind of a blurry time of whenever, because we're still going to do, I think, another scene with Leandro, and that might slot anywhere, between these various scenes.
Cool.
Gene frozen for you all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we lost Gene.
Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
Okay. We've lost Gene. What do we do now?
We have to find Gene.
Quickly, I'll link my Regency playlist. In my Regency hold music. This is not actually my playlist. It's really good though. If you're a Spotify user.
I'll have a look-see at that.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've just thrown that on shuffle for the last couple of weeks.
Oh. Oh wait, no, I did not put. I was thinking like, oh, this is interesting music, but I'm accidentally playing Billie Eilish's music instead. I was like, wait a minute. Nope. Press the wrong play button. Okay.
I was looking for notes for a game that I was playing on Sunday, and the first pile of notes that I found was for this game, and I did not think that I had croquet happening in two separate games right now. But
Oh my
man,
God.
if only I could have worked it in.
What was the other game, if you don't mind me asking?
It's something I'm playtesting off Gauntlet.
Hmm.
That I don't know what I can share about.
Fair enough. Okay, this music.
No
amazing.
croquet though.
Aw.
I don't think it's a big spoiler to say that the croquet did not turn up as a key feature. Man, what do we do? There's no GM. There's no
Okay.
dice. There's no masters. What do we do?
Yeah, technically, there is no GM in this game.
Yeah, I
Uh,
didn't. I don't think I realized that prior to our first session that this is, or our second session, I should say, that it is a maybe kind of facilitated game.
Oh yeah, no, there's like in the rules, there's like specific stuff the facilitator is meant to do. They even have their own like tokens to like just prod people along to do stuff. Like it can totally be like a quote unquote GM stuff if the facilitator is just like, okay, I'm not playing a character, but I'm jumping in for like any other secondary characters during claim. And I think that was what Gene meant to do before Lauren had to drop out. So there is like kind of a GM, but it works without it anyway. Like the facilitator can jump in and make a main character. That's what I've been doing in the other Good Society game I'm on, and I was reminded that I signed up for a third one. So that's a lot of Good Society going on in my life.
I wonder. On the one hand, I would feel odd trying to do a scene without Gene, especially when Gene was about to be in a scene.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about that as well because we could do it. Like,
Right? Like, but also, I feel like Gene has a vision.
yeah, exactly. Gene's got it all figured out. Like, I don't even know what a snark is. So,
Not sure Lewis Carroll did either.
okay, fair enough. Yeah, but
Need the Lewis Carroll Monster Manual.
oh my god.
I just need to know what class the Walrus took levels in. The Carpenter, like it seems like an NPC class. I don't know.
All right, I think there are some Tenniel illustrations for the hunting of the Snark, but I don't think he ever actually illustrates the Snark.
Oh.
Like it's like all the other characters.
Oh yeah, because like there's a list of them, or like
Yeah, it's all the butcher. I was looking through this the other day because of the game. Like there's a lot of them. I don't know if they ever actually get there. Also, I'm trying to remember. But it's a very long poem and it's mostly nonsense, so it's hard to follow.
yeah, I was kind of like, okay, well, Gene's gone. I'm gonna give it a read, and then I saw the length of the scroll bar, and
It's like a book. It's like a book's worth of nonsense poetry.
oh my god.
It has some great lines. Like here, like